Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on? Force here from Force Strategy Gaming, casting a game for you today between Lalush and Xel'Naga, and I am dying today. I'll tell you, I've been doing live streaming of my lessons all day, and if you haven't seen them, you can go ahead and check them out. They are all cataloged right on the Justin.tv website. It's justin.tv/Force Strategy Gaming. I will be casting all my lessons there, as well as just when I play games and stuff like that. So that should be fun. Looking forward to doing that. But I wanted to make a quick little strategy video. I have an hour right now in between. I mean a commentary. What the F am I talking about? I'm doing a commentary. I have an hour right now in between lessons. So I just wanted to bring this to you. It wasn't quite enough time to do a strategy, so I'm going to start with a commentary, and then I'll try to come up with a strategy later in the evening. So what do we have? Well, first and foremost, looks like Xel'Naga going to be placing that pylon right outside of his natural expansion. What this, of course, means is that he probably plans on expanding very soon. That is a very probable statement. So moving down, scouting in the cross position because players cannot spawn directly across from you. If you don't know that yet, that is the case right here on this wonderful map, Shakur's Plateau. Players will not ever spawn. It is impossible for Mr. Lalush to spawn right here when mana is right there. It just doesn't work that way. They will either be next to you or directly across from you. So you can see skipping scouting down here and then going to be scouting in the cross position and then up, and he will be finding exactly where Lalush is, and he wasn't able to intervene right there. It looks like Lalush is going to be coming down with that quick expansion. So now Mana is going to have to deal with that. He's going to have to figure out exactly what he wants to do. Coming down with the Forge, so going to be seeing that Forge cannon and fast expansion coming down from Mana. Looking forward to this. And obviously with this Overlord Scout, looks like Mr. Lalush is going to be fully aware of that. So going to be fully aware of exactly what's going on and of this quick expansion. And then at that point, Lalush is going to have to decide, do I want to expand again or do I want to push out and try to be aggressive? Likely response is for another expansion. Going to be a little difficult for him to be aggressive unless he tries to deal with these back rocks. Pushing in the front wall isn't going to be super effective for him. You can see here, Mana still not coming out with an assimilator. He is, of course, going to skip that up until the point he gets his expansion up, and he should be coming out with that very shortly. Where, in fact, is it? Where is it? No, looks like we're going to be seeing a cannon rush go down. So awesome here. Mr. Mana going to be doing a cannon rush instead of going for that expansion. This could put him in a little bit of a dangerous spot, though, if these Zerglings do happen to push into Mana's base, and Lalush is fully aware of that right now, but cannon rush is going to be going down and going to do quite a bit of damage to this expansion, forcing him to cancel. Going to be pulling them back to one base play, canceling those two additional cannons, and then going to just be moving on from here. We do have this one cannon down in the low ground. No vision, obviously, obtained from that, and here's that expansion. So canceling those cannons and then using that as an opportunity to get up his expansion, those extra resources. We can see this Roach Warren coming up, so it looks like we're going to be seeing a Roach push here from Lalush. You can see no Metabolic Boost, of course. He had just recently got up that extractor, so he obviously didn't have the best being necessary. So going to be pushing out with these Zerglings, probably going to be trying to move into the base of Mana to see what he can do for damage. Where are those Zerglings? There they are. So scouting for that probe, maybe try to deny him there. Come on, you gotta do something here, Mr. Lalush. I mean, coming out with that expansion. There we go. So Zergling's denying that probe there, but no probe pulling down to the safety of the cannon, taking a couple shots. Zergling's going to instead be re-rallied, and look at this down here. Lalush is going to be choosing to go with his expansion down here. This is already quite an intense game. Yeah, pretty interesting start there. Gateway and cannon coming down at the front. So going to have a difficult time, like I mentioned. Lalush isn't going to really be able to push in the main, and this is a pivotal point right here. Mana does want to scout, and he's going to see that Roach Warren, so now he knows Roaches are a possibility. He is aware of this. First Roach is out, going to be killing that probe, but no, probe manages to just get away and then stops at the most inconvenient time. So we can see here Lalush is in fact expanding down in this very far position. Now, of course, the danger here is that if Mana manages to scout this eventually, if he manages to see it, well, look where the F he's going. He is checking that very thing right now. I believe so. But if he spots this, whole lot of trouble for Lalush, because he's not going to be able to defend this quite easily at all. Overlord still inside of the main base of Mana, still seeing exactly what's going on. Obviously for units, not a whole lot. Mana has vested so much into this expansion, getting up these cannons at the front, and of course the units over here. He hasn't really been able to do much, and look at that, Scout going down. So right now Mana is aware of this expansion, and that is a little bit problematic for him. Again, it's going to be very difficult for Lalush to defend this. It's just not the easiest thing. It's so far away from his main creep spread. It's going to take quite some time for creep to reach point A to point B, and yeah, going to be very tough. So what we're going to be seeing from Mana most likely is a push at some point. And look at that, 4 gatherers right there on that assimilator. That's no good. Putting a pylon at the back wall. Going to be checking these rocks to see if any roach push comes from that direction. Going to be seeing a nice little transfer here of units. And proxy pylon. Am I calling it? I think I am. I think it's going to happen. I don't know. We'll find out momentarily. Back inside of the base of Mana. Just probing up at this point. Getting a little sentry over there. That's really nice. Where is that sentry? Mr. Sentry, where art thou? I do not know where the sentry is. I am not sure where he is or what he is doing, but he is somewhere. I swear to God I saw sentries. Am I retarded? There it is. More cannons coming up at the front wall as well for Mana. So Mana just going to be working on his econ right now. You can see kind of piling that up. And then we're going to be seeing gateways. Gateways coming down right now for Mana. Might be seeing that 6th gate. That is pretty much the popular transition from that quick expand forge into a 6 gate is what you basically tend to see. We can see right now Mana scouting out, going to see that tech up to layer. What are we going to be seeing? Are we going to be seeing a Spire or a Roach speed? So going to be going really Roach heavy. You can see that level 1 upgrade, bunch of Roaches on their way out right now. So we're going to be seeing some Roach aggression at some point. Now Lalush, again, he's on even footing as a Protoss player. That is bad. You don't want to be on even footing in terms of expansion as Zerg against a Protoss player. So he's going to want to consider expansion at some point in the relatively near future. Do we have upgrades coming? No, not at this moment. And look at that, mixing it up a little bit. Gonna be getting a Stargate, so deciding instead, actually 2 Stargates, deciding not to go with that 6th gate, that 6th warp gate, and gonna be going for Stargates instead. Probably getting either Phoenixes or Void Rays. Both are really an option. Phoenix is, of course, more for harassment, picking up drones, killing overlords, killing queens, all sorts of stuff. Now, this is really going to be quite interesting. We can see this expansion coming down for Lalush, so finally getting that third, and again, pretty necessary. And look at that, I called it. Proxy pylon as well as a cannon going down up here. And is Lalush aware of this at this point? Yes, he is, so he does see it pushing up, and he's going to take that out before it actually manages to do much of anything. Going to be losing this pylon, unfortunately. It does manage to cancel that cannon, so that is good. Going to be moving down with a couple more roaches into the center of the map, so interested to see what exactly we're going to be seeing here from Mr. Mana. What are we seeing? We are seeing Phoenixes after supply block. Supply block done. Phoenixes out. So here we go. We're going to be seeing some Overlord harassment. Going to be seeing some picking up of Queens, most likely. If Lalush can do a good job of defending against this, actually, Mana could be in quite a tough spot. Now, the big problem is these floating Overlords kind of chilling out all over the map. Very susceptible to these Phoenixes. And right now, here we go. Overseer coming out right now for Lalush. He is going to be scouting, if at all possible. Or I'm just going to stare at the Overseer and watch him do nothing. That's another option as well. So I'll keep an eye on the mini-map, and I will go back to that Overseer when necessary. Would like to see a Changeling go down, as well as just a general Overseer scout. So third expansion coming up at the natural here for Mr. Lalush, and that is very good because he definitely does need to get ahead in economy and get that extra larva. Like I had mentioned, being on the same footing in terms of bases as a Protoss player, not really the best of situations. So going to be waiting until he gets a few Phoenixes and then pushing out. It looks like he will be actually waiting until he gets 6. And there we go, Overseer going to be moving in. Want to see that Changeling drop, but at this point it's a little too late because obviously Mana knows. There we go, so going to be targeting that Changeling right away. Checking and not seeing a whole bunch, so this is a little bit of a cause for alarm. There's that Rebox facility. At the very same time, as the Overseer is coming out, we are seeing those Phoenixes come into play, so going to be pushing out, lifting up that Queen right there, taking it out very, very quickly. I obviously knew that was going to happen. And then these Overlords, not in the best of situations. We do have this Hydralisk Den out, so Hydralisks are going to be very necessary. 5 Spore Crawlers on the way, as well as that Spire, but losing these Queens, absolutely huge. Not good at all. More Phoenixes on the way out right now. We can see a bunch of Hydras making their way in, but it's going to be difficult, even with this creep spread. Now, these Overlords creep spread thingy going on here. Those are going to get dropped very quickly, and this is a huge problem for Lalush. You can see right now he is supply blocked, forced to make a ton of Overlords, and this is such an issue. This is why Mass Phoenixes can be so annoying as Zerg. Dealing with this, very, very frustrating. Spore Crawler going to be pushing those guys away. Hydra's coming into play, going to be very effective at pushing back those Phoenixes at this point. But look at all these Overlords. Lalush going to be forced to try to pull them into the main to the safety of the Spore Crawler, but just look at how heavy of a deficit Lalush is going into in the morning. He's forced to spend all of his minerals right now to just make a ton more Overlords just to be able to deal with this, just to be able to even produce anything else. Still in the red incredibly. He's just so far in the red right now. Going to be losing these Overlords right here as well. Spore Crawler should be helping to push this away, but no, going to be picking up that Queen, taking it out very quickly, and probably, yeah, I think he might lose these Overlords. Going to be pushing them into the safety right now of those Spore Crawlers, and Phoenixes just taking a little break, going to recharge their shield and then continue the harassment. And look at this transition, going to be moving into Colossus. We do have that Thermal Lance upgrade coming right now, so once that is up, obviously those Colossus much, much more effective. And look at, I mean, he just lost so many overlords. So frustrating dealing with Phoenixes as they're so very frustrating. It kind of puts you in a shriveled position. You're kind of forced to kind of retreat and retract into your base, and that's not really good because you would like to use your overlords for scouting if at all possible. Going to be losing this overlord here as well. And one of the big things to realize too, aside from getting supply block, just forced to spend so many resources just to recoup those overlords, and definitely paying for themselves right now. These Phoenixes having so many kills and just being so harassive. Going to be trying to move forward with these Hydralisks to try to push that back, and we do have some Corruptors as well, very durable and can definitely handle those Phoenixes. Those Phoenixes drop pretty quickly to those Corruptors. So forced to pull back right now, feeling that he has taken care of most of the overlords and done so much harassment, and again, not able to really mass up too much of an army because he had to spend so many resources in recovering those overlords as well as drones. You know, he did have to recover some drones as well. He lost his queens. You can see here still supply blocks, still lacking a queen at the main base right now. So really at this point, Lalush has to try to do something, but primarily he just has to try to survive. You know, not getting pushed against. Obviously, such a heavy resource investment here coming out with these Phoenixes, but like I said, definitely paying for themselves, and we're seeing that transition right now into these Colossus. Also some Void Rays mixed in there as well. So going to be kind of switching to that Protoss Death Ball, and this could be very frustrating because you can see Lalush has been going pretty much Roach Hydra, and getting Colossus, getting those Void Rays, and then just getting a bunch of Gateway units. That's really difficult for Roach Hydra to deal with. So Lalush not looking to be in the best of positions. Again, dealing with that Phoenix harass, just so very difficult. Taking a look at that production tab, both players doing quite a bit. Seeing a bunch of upgrades coming right now for Mr. Mana, and then Lalush himself going to be getting some upgrades, a few more Corruptors on the way out, as well as those Hydralisks. But we're just going to see continued harassment here, just taking out these Queens so hard to deal with. Losing the Queens, such a big deal as a Zerg player. Not being able to inject Larva, just a huge, huge problem. Tons of Photon Cannons coming down over here. Now, Lalush is, of course, aware of this, but what can he do? You know, he's going to maybe destroy these rocks to deal with these cannons. Okay, then that leaves you wide open to this big death push, and looks like it's going to be coming very soon right now. We do have 2 Colossus out at the moment, another one on the way, and a bunch of Phoenixes, couple Stalkers, 6 Void Rays as well. So very, very tough situation right now for Lalush. Lalush killing these rocks. Again, he doesn't really want to push here. Not the best of scenarios. If he tries to push against that, he's going to deal with this small choke and that Colossus fire, and that, of course, is not the best thing. So right now, going to be trying to defend his main base. At the same time, just continuing to pump out units right now, continuing with those upgrades. We are seeing, again, this 3rd expansion right now for Mana, so Mana is really starting to look like he's in a solid spot. Going to be difficult, of course, but still trying to expand nonetheless, because obviously, again, Lalush wants to stay on one base above his opponent. Here we go, big push coming in right now. Guardian Shield going down. Colossus going to be roasting a lot of his units. Phoenixes going to be taking care of these Overlords. Also probably going to be using that Graviton Beam in the near future. Also going to be concentrating on these Corruptors to stop them from taking out these Colossus, and this is not looking good right now for Lalush. He's going to wait till he can engage and get us around, and there we go, pushing forward, moving in the Corruptors. Going to be trying to target fire those Colossus, dealing with those force fields. Very difficult, taking unnecessary fire from those Colossus, forced to push back. We can see those Roaches not within range, not doing any damage, but we do have quite a bit of units right now for Lalush, taking a few more shots, and he does manage to mop up a lot of the ground forces. Going to be target firing that Colossus, pushing it all the way back. Colossus makes it away with 1 HP, but great job there by Lalush. Manages to defend against this push, and he is looking to be pretty solid right now. You know, Mana did lose quite a bit in that engagement. We can see here Lalush coming out with his 4th base, so continuing to stay at least 1 base above his opponent, and he is looking to be pretty solid right now. Additional gateways being dropped down for Mana. Mana losing so many Void Rays. That was such a heavy resource investment, and I think that may have been a mistake actually on his part, because he knew that Lalush was going pretty Hydra heavy, and Void Rays get dropped pretty quickly. I think if he mixed some more Zealots and Stalkers, maybe consider getting that charge upgrade or blink for the Stalkers, may have done a little bit better. Not wanting to push in here at all, though. Lalush losing units unnecessarily, didn't manage to even kill a single Photon Cannon, so that was a little bit of a mistake on his part. Definitely didn't really accomplish much whatsoever. We'd have a bunch more Roaches on the way out now for Lalush, and looks like they are going to all be rallied into his main base. Having to deal with this continuous threat of this back wall being down is going to really put him in a little bit of a bind. Getting that 4th base saturated right now, we can see a good job of placing this Overload over here. That's going to let him know if at any point Mana does try to get that base. He does, of course, not have vision of this base, though, so would be a little concerned about that. But either way, trying to deny any sort of expansion is a good thing. And continued harassment here from these Phoenixes. A few Void Rays mixed in there as well. We do have 4 Colossus right now, 4 mana, but still, I don't know if it's enough. Big push moving down. Lalush re-rallying his forces to the center of the map. Looks like he's going to be pushing out to the expansion right now. He does have to, of course, again, worry, leaving his base pretty much defenseless at this point. And we are seeing a bunch more warped-in units here from Mana, and this is a little bit of a dangerous position right here. He needs to do a ton of damage in this push. He's going to get pushed against the second. Mana knows that his units are away from his base, so here we go, pushing forward, going to be moving right into the natural, and this is a bit of a tense situation right now. Going to be interested to see how Mana responds. Here we go, push, going to be moving right into the natural at this point, and we are seeing right now Mana pulling back his forces, so deciding not to engage the main here of Lalush. Going to be trying to defend his expansion. Corruptors moving forward, going to be taking very quickly, taking these guys out very quickly, and the damage going down incredibly heavily here at this expansion, losing the Stargate. Big loss there. Colossus raining in from the high ground, going to be doing lots of damage right now, but no, looks like Mana does have quite enough to defend against this. Colossus doing so much damage here. I don't really know why Lush spread up his units like that. He does want those Corruptors with the bulk of his army to take down those Colossus, but no, Colossus just making quick work of all these units. Corruptors kind of flying around, doing not a whole lot, and that was a big mistake there by Lalush. He lost quite a bit of units. He had, the bulk of his army, the Roaches and Hydrils here in the expansion, and the Colossus were just able to sit up top here and roast them at the bottom. At the same time, the Corruptors just kind of flying around in the main base, trying to take out some units, but not assisting in the bulk of the army and the bulk of the push there from Lalush. So that wasn't the best thing, I don't think, for Lalush to do. Now, Lalush does still have quite a few units here. Taking a look at the army tab, we can see they are about even, so no one has this incredible advantage yet. Again, having this 4th base and actually moving into a 5th, pretty good there on Lalush. Now, if anything, he did manage to get rid of that frontal wall as well as drop one of those Stargates, so obviously was of some benefit to him, but yeah, he did lose quite a bit of Roaches and Hydras because of those Colossus on the high ground. So again, not the best of scenarios, not the best situation there. Mana trying to keep up the pressure here on the back wall, but I don't think he knows about this 5th expansion going down, and he seems pretty contained right now. He's having a hard time pushing out and a hard time expanding. He definitely wants to consider taking a 4th at some point in the near future. Sorry for that burp. And here we go, big push coming down right now. 4 mana moving into the main base here of Lalush. Where's Lalush's army? Way too far away. Going to be forced to pull back into the base. He's going to be losing this layer, and that's actually a big deal right now. There are a lot of Colossus right there. Bunch of Void Rays, ton of Stalkers there as well. Corruptors moving forward, going to be trying to target fire those Colossus. He wants to wait till the bulk of the army engages though, and it doesn't look like at this point that Lalush does have enough Corruptors trying to do what they can, but taking so much target fire from those Stalkers as well as those Void Rays. Lots of damage going down, and there we go. Lalush just leaves the game with no GG, so was not happy there with his own performance, I would imagine. Going for that extra base definitely set him back a little bit as far as army count, and I don't think he was expecting such a big push there from Mana, and Mana successfully on 3 bases managed to push out against Lalush, who was on 5, and yeah, you can see just that big Protoss Death Ball managed to wipe up everything that Lalush had. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the cast. Again, I have been doing my live stream all day, so sorry if this was a little bit off. I'm just a little tired. My voice is kind of out there, but I wanted to make some sort of video for you. I'm going to be coming out with a strategy video as well later tonight. I think that'll get uploaded either late this evening or tomorrow morning, so keep an eye out for that as well. And I'm going to be at a tournament tomorrow, so a whole bunch of crap going on. Anyways, guys, this has been Force Strategy Gaming. If you enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. As always, guys, keep watching and keep owning.